I'm on an airplane, and the destination of this flight is to the other side. Alright, I don't know, but I guess I had to go there. I guess I had to come here. I know where I'm from, but now I'm headed where I'm going right. Alright, but there are powers in the air, you can't see them. And they have rockets and machine guns, and they're firing on my plane. But I say fire, fire, hey, ready, fire, hey. You can't shoot me down. Oh, fire, fire, hey, ready, aim, fire, hey. You can't stop me now, can't stop me now, no. La 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 la. I'm on a rocket ship, yeah, and the destination of this rocket is to outer space. Alright, I know, but I guess I had to go. Guess I had to come here. I know where I'm from, but now I'm headed to another place. God is taking me to another space. But there are powers in the air, you can see them. And they have rockets and machine guns, and they're firing on my brain. Hey, but I said fire, fire, hey, ready, fire, hey. You can't shoot me down. Hey, fire, yeah, yeah. Fire, ready, fire. Hey. You can't stop me now, can't stop me now, no. La 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 la. Hey, say I'm just trying to make it straight cause it's sideways. Trying to take water to a dry place. Trying to take hope where there ain't none. Trying to bring low to a high place. Zone when I make the shooter put the gun down. Zoom up against the hold that sun now. Wanna make the lame man run again. Make the blind man see the sun again. All I hear is bang bang gat. I don't think the powers really want that. Breathing down my neck, goes on my back, got the guns out, but I said, woo, 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 woo. Fire, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. You can't shoot me down, no, fire, yeah, yeah, fire, ready, fire. You can't stop me now, 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 no. La 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 la. But I say fire, fire, hey. Ready, aim, fire, yeah. You can't shoot me down. Whoa, fire, fire, hey. Ready, aim, fire. You can't stop me now, can't stop me now, no.
So, good morning, good morning, good morning. What is that experience that one has to have to believe that they cannot be shot down? No one can detour them, no one can move them from the space and the journey that they're on or in. Hmm. What type of power is that? What type of experience? That right there is definitely the rise of the African. Our social media Pan African movement, where we seek to inspire and bring together Black people from all over the diaspora. Ready, aim, fire. Do what you can, because you cannot shoot me down. We talking about Pentecost this day. It is Pentecost Sunday, Pentecost Sunday, Pentecost Sunday. And everybody should know by now that this is definitely my favorite, most favorite spiritual season. I was talking to Walamu Jabari the other day, and just explaining to him. This goes back till I was 12 when I first understood the power of Pentecost and what Pentecost was meaning, and my journey began at 12 to find out how can I experience Pentecost. And because we live in a situation and circumstance where we don't completely separate ourselves from the world, and we got to be in the world, and sometimes we are of the world and not even know it, we don't get to access this power. But this is a story of the 12 disciples after the assassination of Jesus, the Black Messiah, where they came together as a group, not as individuals, right? If your spiritual journey has got you saying that I got to do this by myself, I got to take care of myself, you on the wrong spiritual journey. Because it takes a group. It takes a group because the group becomes your mirror. The group becomes your reflection. The group becomes your sounding board. The group becomes your listening process, your teaching process. In that group helps you finalize who you are in the creator. Because during Pentecost season, they was all searching for that melanated Pentecostal power. What? That stuff that's in our DNA, trying to untap it. Them brothers was sitting there saying that, look, we got to come together because they picking us off one by one. And we in here now where we watching our generations in the real world, watching our generations go down. And so we got to tap. And so I began to tap in, and I'm hoping you were tapping in too. And it's not just you tapping into that melanated power. What? You going with some folk. You going with your people. Friends, how many of us have them? Yeah, that's the Pentecostal journey. That's it. When it's not just you walking in power, but it's everybody standing around you walking in power. So that you got a team of God bodies. Woo. Powerful. I love this day. I love this day. I love this day. So I am hoping that during Pentecost season, y'all were tapping in. Y'all was doing what you needed to do to experience the invisible powers of God. What? Now, this is the situation and scenario where I realized how the world or the classes mix, because we talked about one of the invisible powers within us as individuals. but realizing it during the African Speaks. And as I was putting this together, I said, wow, I don't even have to recreate a graphic. I should have just to announce what the lesson was going to be about. Right. But sometimes it comes in at spur of the moment since my time schedule is so busy. It comes. And when it comes, I just deliver the invisible powers that's within you. So do you feel more powerful than you did 50 years ago? I mean, 50 days ago? Do you feel more powerful than you did since Easter? How about Lent? You feel more powerful today than Christmas or with New Year's, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah? Do you feel more power? When was the last time you can say, you know what? I feel so much better today than I've felt in a long time, or I'm on a whole nother level. Did you have an opportunity to tap into the greater you to level down? Mm. And he was like, level down, you know, Wale J, they always talking about leveling up. Yeah, we don't want you to, yeah, you can level up if you want to. But when you access what you can't see, that means you level down. The things that you can't see level down. When you're walking and somebody just sees you for the first time, of course, you glow. They see the surface you. People talk about, they say things when they compliment you. I realize that they're not seeing what they see. They're seeing what's inside, but then they can never really tell because for them, the beauty of who you are is surface. The beauty of who you are, people tell you it's surface until they get close enough and realize the beauty of who you are is deep. It's the depth of you. It is the depth of your being and your understanding and your relationship and your connection to God, to your culture, to your tradition. It is the depth of your understanding. It is the depth of your wisdom. It is the depth of your spiritual uh, access into the things around you. It is the depth of everything. So what you see now when you look in the mirror, you say, but what you can't see, the things that are invisible, those invisible powers that we try to say is locked inside you, that is really who you are. That is that experience. And at this moment during Pentecost season, do you feel the depth of you increasing? And it increases slowly. We use this particular time of year because we amplify it with others. Now, after today, when you go into Monday, we call it the day of ordinary times. But no time is ordinary. Now, how you use it is up to you. No time is necessarily ordinary. We just know that as a group, individuals are not necessarily focused so that when you do your personal journey, and you can still do your journey with your friends. But during this particular period, interacting with and I said, I'm going to interact with my ancestors. I'm going to talk to my ancestors more, call on my ancestors more, feel on my ancestors more. Listen to my ancestors in an instinct. That means when they tell you to do something and you feel it like you're being told, an idea pops up and you go do it and you get it done and you move faster. And I started feeling myself, the depth of me. At this particular time, the Ajay that was here 24 hours ago is not here no more. I've increased within, and it's going to begin to show on the outside. But when you see an iceberg, you only seeing, they say, the tip of the iceberg. When you see this, you're just seeing the tip of who I am. I said, brother, this brother got a lot of energy. This brother got a lot of wisdom. This brother got a lot. Man, please, if I could show you what's on the inside, it'll blow your mind because it's blowing mine. I tell people on a regular basis, never put me in a box. Because when you put me in a box or you put yourself in a box or you put your friends in a box, what happens is you keep them from having an experience of God within. You keep them from understanding what is the next level that they can reach to. So never put me in a box, brother. Are you sure? What? Are you questioning the God that I follow? The God that I give praise to? The God that I have I have a relationship with? You questioning the ancestors? What? Don't ever question. If I say I got it, then I got it. So I'm hoping you feeling this. I'm hoping today you're feeling the depth of who you are because what God has given you and is giving you is always what you can't see. It is slowly manifested to the light. What happens in the dark will be revealed in the light. What happens within in the depth of you, that things that people can't see will manifest in everything that they can see. They will be able to tell you what? By your fruits, the things that you produce. After a while, it begins to come up. It becomes visible and people can see it, but they never truly know the depth of your relationship to your brothers and sisters, to your culture, to God. They can begin to see it, but they can't understand the depth of it, the power you walk in. And that's why in these challenges, and I'm always, this Pentecost season, ain't no need for me to sit down and be without any energy, because I am tapped in, tapped. And I sat down, and my niece graduated, and we was at a party last night. And at the party last night, I went and I took over the music at the end, and I began to chat on reggae music and brought the power in the building. Sister, everybody was like, "Oh, whoa, whoa," and it was thanking the Creator, thanking the ancestors, thanking the physical family, how we harness the power of God to help move the next generation forward. Second Corinthians 2:4. For the weapons of our warfare have divine power to destroy strongholds. The strongholds are anything that keeps you from being the greatest you. Anything that keeps you from being the greatest you. Our weapons of warfare, spiritual warfare, has divine powers. God is always sending power to you. And it's up to us to be having the knowledge to receive it. I'm receiving it. When people speak life, that's another part of this journey. When you said you had to get your friends and only hang around friends that speak life. Why? Because when they speak life, they are increasing your access to the invisible power, and they are developing the depth of who you are, the depth of your understanding. And in that understanding, it breaks the chains of the things that may keep you down. So they destroy strongholds. And see, God is always sending divine power. How do you know? How do you know God is always sending? And He makes it physical. Again, I'm gonna show you the things that you may see, but you don't know, right? He's always sending divine power in the form of rain. You're like, what? Rain has, or water, the flow of water has power to it. And we can't live without it. What the element that is water, we can't live without. And it's raining. Rain hits the earth, heals the earth, blesses the earth, and then when it evaporates, it goes back up. And it comes back down, and it goes back up, and it comes back down, and it goes back up. You don't know that that's God power being sent, because the surface of it is it's just raining. No, God is showing you an example of how He sends what you need to the earth. Those things that you look at and don't realize that this is the power of God feeding on, just healing and pouring into me. What does water do for you? That H2O. We can't live without it. You can't. You'll be a different being, and you'll begin to deteriorate without water. God is always sending power. Then you got that sunlight, that radiation of light where everything grows. Too much of it, the same way like too much of water, it destroys. So you don't want too much. You want just enough to live. Not survive. Live. And in this space, we also got the sunlight, sunbeams, grows everything. God sending power. It's another example. You may see it as just sunlight, but the depth of understanding is this is God's showing you how He sends power throughout our universe for us to increase ourselves. We do everything in the sun. Too much sun will kill us, so you can't stay out in it all day. but just enough of God power. That solar energy. How it grows food. How it manifests vitamin D in your body. Makes you darker. It increases that it's like it activates your melanin count and increases it. It makes you darker and you harmonize even more. People get mad when they get darker in the sun. I don't know why. You get more power. You're absorbing more energy from God. What? He's always sending energy. Pentecost was about harnessing that energy. Another thing God sends to the earth is what? Y'all see that electricity. The electricity, that power of God. You sit down and look at a thunder. Well, we're going to get to that. When you look at a thunderstorm and we harness electricity, light, light, let there be light. And so we're learning how to harness the power of God that He sends so that our lives are better. What? We talking about our depth of understanding in terms of our relationship to God and God's relationship to us. Power. That's what it is. What's another element that God sends is power. As an example, it's the wind. Mm, always blowing. I'm always here. Inhale and exhale and blow. Where does that wind come from? Don't nobody know. It's cosmic. There is no place that they can locate. They just know the direction it comes from. Sometimes it comes hard, sometimes it's a gentle breeze, but it's still power. You put a windmill up, let it start spinning, it generates energy. That energy goes through the ground and they can disperse that energy out to people for light. Let there be light. God is always sending power. And a lot of times we sit down and we understand that those are elements. The elements that gives us an indication that God is. This is nothing but a display. Anytime you see a storm, anytime you see a physical storm, it's a display of God's power. And when you see that, is it an example of God showing and telling you, hey, I'm here. And I'm always sending something on your behalf for the greater good of what God wants to have on earth. Now, if we cut down too many trees, of course, when God starts sending stuff, there's a problem. That's why there's supposed to be a balance when He sends power. You got to understand it. Pentecost season, the brothers sat there and said, you know what? As beings that are walking this earth, we need to understand who we are in God because Jesus, the revolutionary black Messiah, knew. And He was teaching us His lessons and how He got and became where He became and what He wanted us to know. Our relationship to divine energy, knowledge, wisdom, power. It's always there. The creativity. When lightning hits copper, which God also created, copper becomes a conduit of energy. That energy, man's mind can manipulate it into something that we need to exist in. Power. It's always around us, and Pentecost is about understanding how you exist in the realm and the energy field of God power. And I'm hoping today you feel it because I do. I do. And if you haven't and you negated it and you're just trying to jump in and say, I'm going to celebrate today, that's okay too. Because God is never not sending and giving and expressing Himself in wisdom, knowledge, creativity, and power. Did you get some of that invisible power in prayer where you felt better? Did you wipe off your third eye in meditation and you can see clearer? Did you eat and process good foods so you can feel better? Again, our whole existence is about understanding who we are in the Creator. We are God's science, we're God's technology, His engineering, His arts, and His mathematics. We are understanding during Pentecost. We took the time to understand even more. And this is our whole journey. This doesn't stop. It's just in the Pentecost season, we amplify the effort to access power. So by this day, you are even more full of who you're called to be. The depth of you increase. I can feel it. I hope you too. And if you can't, I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it. I'm sharing my understanding that we together stand as God's team. And there are things that He has called us to do as a family. Because when you tap into God, you realize that all things are connected, and so should we be. It's not about an individual journey, it's about a collective journey that's to manifest what God has asked us to manifest. So in that process, yes, we're tapping in. Every day after this, we're going to allow what is in our DNA to shine, nothing less. We're going to shine through all quote unquote storms that they say. The storm is the surface part of it, but what it means when you watch it. Next time you go outside, if you go outside this weekend and you feel the sun, let the depth of you understand that that sun is God showing that I send you power. The moonlight, let it show you that I send you power. I'm always changing and giving the earth something so that you can realize that there's something in your your DNA, that if you continue to interact with the creative God and you start unlocking what's within, when you realize that I created the universe for you and your DNA is specially crafted to share these experiences of God giving and sending power, because there's knowledge in your DNA, wisdom in your DNA, talents in your DNA, gifts in your DNA. There's a purpose that the minute you unlock yourself to your understanding in God, and it's not, they say we only using a little bit of our brain, but we said, hey, when you unlock your true DNA, you become the fullness of who God called you to be, not partial, but the fullness, your whole DNA unlocked, and that invisible power begins to take over your mindset. It takes over your mindset. That creativity, the knowledge, wisdom, your understanding, anything you do, it takes over your mindset. Them synapses, you have electricity in your body. Electricity in your body, in your brains. The chakras, it's energy. And the minute you continue to unlock, you tap in. Hopefully, you're feeling more powerful. During this journey, we said up the minute that you get there, you give God your mind, you give him your heart and your body and your spirit. Woo! Then he can unlock some things. God can unlock some things. Does anybody today feel like that they have a piece of them being unlocked after the last 50 days? I've been doing some serious teaching in the last 50 days because I've been doing some serious understand. Man, I was in tears the other day when I'm looking around and seeing how we are connected to each other and God through what we talked about on the African Speaks, quantum consciousness. Mm, we're gonna talk about that this one. We might do that next week. Power to back up Pentecost season. Quantum consciousness is what we're gonna talk about next week. For Alkebulan, we are connected to all things. That's it. That's the sermon for next week. So you understand how you're built and you're supposed to work together and how to manifest that deep, deep, deep explosion of infinite thought. And in that space, when you're there, that's when you, not because of your ego, but because of your relationship with God, your culture, your traditions, your ancestors. When you are in relationship with everything, you walk in a particular authority. You walk in a particular spirit. We talked about these things, and you have that desire not to just survive, not to just make it, but to live. And then it's redefined because living the people is I got riches. I get to travel all the time. I get to have fun. No, for us, that's only a small fraction of the surface of the life that God wants us to live. That's a small fraction. And if you're stuck on that fraction, they need to get off that fraction because that living instinct changes the world. It changes the world. It changes everything around you. You connect to other people and you begin to change the things around you. You have a classroom of kids who go into school and say, all of us are going to pass because I live when you live and you live when I live. All of us are going to have great grades. I love it when college students, and I learned this from my daughter, they create these Google Meet groups, Google groups. And they stay connected throughout the years, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, then outside of work years. Right now, if you're going to graduate school years, high school should do the same thing, making sure that every student has a ability to get a straight A's. That's it. That's it. A's. A's, straight A's. That's the living instinct where it's not just about you, but it's about us. That living instinct only comes. That power only comes. The invisible power that no one can see, but you could feel it, you can share it, you can create from it. You can create whatever is in your imagination. All happens when we seek God. When we seek God. The expression of experience of seeking God is to experience how powerful we are as a people, how powerful you are as a person, and how much influence we have to change the world around us. That's why you seek to get that feeling of invincibility from the invisible powers that exist within. And the minute you tap, and as we tap it, you become a field of power. Mm. Divine power that is connected to all the elements. Because I'm water, it's in my body. I am the sun, I absorb it. I am air, I breathe. I am the wind. And I got electricity in my body. What? I am cosmic energy and creative intelligence, just like the field of God that is cosmic energy and creative intelligence. Pentecost is the experience where we come out, and I hope you feel this way, even more connected to the things around you so that you can speak life and manifest. Speak life and manifest. And I'm on an airplane, and my destination is to wherever God has me, which is the other side, that spiritual realm. I guess I got to go there. Yeah. Now, there are things in this world that will, they don't like who you are. And they got missiles aimed up on who you are. But when you walk in the power of God, you can look at everything at you and say, fire. I say fire. Why? Radiant fire. Because you can't shoot me down. That's it's the spiritual authority that we walk in. When you seek God, there is nothing that can stop your walking. And we have been making changes in this world since we've been here. And the world as we know it, that is run by non-African people, are always trying to shoot us down. But we in that space where this generation that are coming, and the generation and the generations, as we roll, we take back what God has given us in here first. We take back the part of ourselves that no one can see first. That's why you give your God all your mind. That's why you give your God all your heart. That's why you give God all your spirit, because we take him back all the things that we can't see. Mm, until we can become from within. In that way, everything that we produce is experienced, is affected by that power, manipulated by that power. Now, you're walking in an experience where nothing is in your way. Life be a puzzle that you're trying to figure out. All you got to do is speak to your vision, speak to your dream, speak to your hope, and then make it happen. Because you walk in an authority that can't, no man that is not man, and I'll explain that. No man that is not man can stop you. Mankind, and then the human man. Mankind as a species that God created versus what man created in you. Now, if you have somebody who don't see the God in you, they can't stop anything that you're trying to produce. They may try to throw roadblocks, but the minute you begin to speak to it, it disappears. It disappears because you did the time. You paid your dues. This is why we seek God. We seek God to be the manifestation of organic God power. Know thyself. Know thyself. We are organic God power. Organic mean we're living, breathing, thinking, feeling, and doing experiences of God power. This is the divine you. This is your best self. When you function with the understanding of knowing who you are in God, we are organic experiences of divine power. Organic divine power. Period. You are nothing less than that. And if you at any given point you think you are, that means that somebody's firing upon your plane, the plane in which you are, and trying to destroy you. And then you have to find yourself back into the understanding of knowing who you are in the Creator. Your organic spiritual power. You're an organic spiritual being. God placed your spirit, your knowledge, and your wisdom in this avatar, in this shape. And you have the ability to interact and influence the world around you by your word. When you become light, when you be able to illuminate the power that is deep inside you and unlock it out of your DNA, you begin to understand that you are organic divine power. You can change the things, everything that you're going through, simply because you know who you are, whose you are, and what you're here to do, and what he gave you to do it with. That goes into this now. We got 4 levels to know who you are, whose you are, what you're here to do, and what he gave you to do it with. 4 things. Wow, that was a revelation just then. Real talk. The depth of my knowing has increased, because we always just say you got to know who you are and whose you are. And I said it's not enough, because people say I'm a child of God, but it's not enough. You know who you are, whose you are. Your personality tells you who you are. I am. Boom. The 2 most powerful words in the English language. I am. Then speak after that. And the child of God should be the first one you say. And then from that, let everything else flow. Whose you are. I belong to God. Not man, not an addiction, not a behavior. I belong to God. And when you know who you are, whose you are, now the issue is what you here to do. Because after a while, knowing thyself, you bumped into your talents, your characteristics, you bumped into your personality, bumped into your gifts and your abilities. You get to see everything about you when you seek God. This is why we have so many spiritual disciplines. This is why Africans and Africa gave so much to the world. Everything is about knowing thyself. You are an organic divine power. You are vessels of God's creative intelligence and his cosmic energy. Know thyself. And you walk in power. Pentecost season, I sat down and said, when I was 12, I'm going to experience this thing. I'm going to walk through this world and I'm going to figure it out. And I had somebody said my life should be a movie because of the horrors I've been through. Man, I can tell you some things. I can tell you some things. And my story is my story. Your story is yours. If you have it hard, it's okay. Why? Because you could use those things to access God's power and work through them. If you had a hard time and I have a soul daughter. She told me call me soul pops, and she's had a rough spell. That's okay because in that space you knew who you are and who you are, and now it's time to embrace all the things that steered you the wrong way and say, I speak to those things as though with things of the past. Then certain things begin to erase. And now I make a decision to be the organic divine power in which I was created to be. I'm going to know myself and seek to know myself even more. This last 50 days, I did some research, study, and meditation, and some classes and teaching. And man, I know myself more today than I ever have. And sharing it with the people that have gotten me here, my community, my family, my friends, my ancestors. You share it. And when you have the assignment of what God has created you to do, knowing who you are, and the reason why you know it is because I sought God and understood the invisible powers that He gave. I am one of the elements on this earth. I am water. I am radiant light and energy. I am walking with the breath of God in me. So I've manifested the things that are in my DNA, letting loose, opening myself to my fullness of me so that I can experience the divine power that is within me because I know with the shadow of a doubt I'm organic divine power and I feel it. So, in my feeling of that, God said I have dominion over the things around me. So, as I walk in His spirit, I speak with His authority. And my instinct to live and make sure people around me live kicks in. And I simply just do this thing called life. I am life. I be life. I live life. Kids have the best experience to have this opportunity because you're open. Don't let the world close you up. Parents, keep your children open. Find the self to open yourself up back to the spirit that you was when you were young. So say that's why it says you got to be born again because when you're young, you're open to the presence of power of God and you can do more what God called you to do. Just do it. Ain't no procrastination. When there's God, you just do it. Ain't no hesitation. When you realize that you're all organic divine power, you just do it. You just do it. There's when your imagination gives you something and you think it's hard. No, it's supposed to be hard. So get started and just do it. I'm creating the largest event that I've ever done. And we're gonna try to do it in the next 30 days. Mm. And it's because I'm functioning as though I understand I am organic, divine being, energy that is God, that is here for a reason. Taking the time to know who I am, whose I am, what I'm here to do, and what He put in me to get it done. When you get that, you got it all. Now, what I want to do, and sometimes we do this because we're seeking the rise of the African within, and you should be more African today than you've ever been before. And if you don't understand Africa, that ain't the issue of being African. Being African is understanding the power you are in the Creator. And the more you get in that power of the Creator, the more you're going to understand that what He did for your lineage, your bloodline, your DNA, what He put in you, what He put in the black woman, the mother. Woo. Hope y'all been watching my Mother's Day series in the African Speaks. We got one coming up this week and next week that's going to set it off. And after this week and next week, we're going to work on Father's Day. We're going to work on our brothers. We're going to work on us. But it's the rise of the African within you. This is it. This is it. I have a friend who said she was teaching me about being behind the veil of God, that secret veil that God exists, where you walk in that power. And definitely trying to get to where she used to be at. Definitely trying to get there. It's hard to do it without friends. It's very hard. But when you have no choice but to succeed, she told me purpose over pain. That might be a sermon. Purpose, choosing purpose over your pain. Why? Because the rise of the African is what God has called us to experience and share with the world. So when you listen to the song again that we're about to play, that we came in, Ready, Aim, Fire by Molly Music, but of course it's a rendition. Listen to it now from the standpoint of understanding you are organic, divine power. And there is nothing in the universe that can stop you. God gives us divine powers to break anything that's trying to hold us back. The minute you walk in your understanding, ha, and you function from the living instinct, and that's what the Ankh means. And for some, this is the womb, fallopian tube, male principle, the power of life. We are life itself. We are moving energy. We are God's kinetic energy. He gets to physically, she gets to the divine feminine and divine masculine. Mother, father, God. God is not a man. God is not a woman. God, we have, however, He's created man and woman to have different attributes of the supreme one consciousness. Walk in those powers and become the African within. Let it out. Everything that they tried to stop, hmm, give it back to God. If you can give back to God, yeah, there's gonna be so many powerful, powerful people walking the planet. So imagine that, a race of organic divine power, the ones who will be woken to that understanding. Imagine that. I've already imagined it, and that's why I'm so super fly. I'm sitting there, hey, the glow comes from within, the power comes from within, and I share it. And hopefully you got it too. I know you do. I can feel it coming back. Somebody sitting at home smiling. We got this. Listen to the song, One Love.
I'm on an airplane. Mm. And the destination of this flight is to the other side. Alright. I don't know, but I guess I had to go there. I guess I had to come here. I know where I'm from, but now I'm headed where I'm going right. Alright. But there are powers in the air, you can't see them.
The divine power.
And they have rockets and machine guns.
They're trying to get you.
And they're firing on my plane.
What you gonna say?
But I say fire.
Yeah.
Fire. Ready, fire.
Get that focus. Guess what?
You can't shoot me down.
Ain't nothing that you can do. It's Pentecost season.
Oh, fire.
Today you are the greatest you.
Fire. Hey. Ready, aim, fire.
To the other side.
You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. No.
Because today you are unstoppable.
La 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 la.
There is nothing that can stop you now. After all you've gone through spiritually, mentally, and emotionally,
I'm on a rocket ship.
now you're shooting up.
Yeah.
From an airplane to a
And
rocket
the destination of this rocket is to outer space.
straight.
Alright.
My understanding in the
I
cosmos.
know, but I guess I had to go.
And you gotta go there.
Guess I had to come here.
You got to get here.
I know where I'm from, but now I'm headed to another place.
Where I'm from. Where I'm headed now.
To another space. But
Higher
there are
understanding.
powers in the air, you can see them.
You can't normally see them around you.
And they have rockets and machine guns.
And they're coming to get you.
And they're firing on my brain. Hey, but I said fire.
Sorry, I had
Fire, hey, ready, fire, hey.
Yeah.
You can't shoot me down, hey, fire, yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Fire, ready, fire, hey.
Why?
You can't stop me now, can't stop me now, no.
There is nothing in this world at this particular time that has the
La la
ability to stop.
la
And if you have not gotten
la la
to
la
that point
la
where you feel that way, where I will call all things to have you delivered from anything that's stopping you from being the greatest.
Hey, say I'm just trying to make it straight cause it's sideways. Trying to take water to a dry place. Trying to take hope where there ain't none.
Well,
Trying to bring low to a high place. Zone when the minute shooter put the gun down. Zoom up against the hold that sun now. Wanna make the lame man run again.
go
Make the
ahead.
blind man see the sun again. All I hear is bang bang gat. I don't think the powers really want that. Breathing down my neck, goes on my back, got the guns out, but I said.
You hear the song different now, don't you?
Fire, hey, yeah,
You are organic, cosmic energy, and creative intelligence.
You can't shoot me down. No, fire, yeah, yeah.
Done.
Fire,
It's done.
ready, fire. You can't stop me now, 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 no.
Nothing.
La 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 la.
To have.
But I say fire.